Nice and toasty. Notice anything missing from the top of that chimney? The chimney was so plugged, I finally ended up having to take the roof jack off. Yeah, it was plugged clear up into here. Birds did a heck of a number on it this year. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dave with Nelson Craig Farm, coming to you from a very cool but beautiful sunrise this morning. Anyway, we got the stove going in the shop. We're going to warm it up, do a little bit of shop cleaning up in there, and we're going to jump in a tractor and move a few things of interest. So hang tight. Whoever said what goes up must come down has evidently not been around the government during tax season. Yeah. Alrighty, well, what we're up to now is we're going to move some stuff around here at the farm. Well, the ground is still halfway frozen and not a total mush pile. I'm just kind of watching the tracks here the tractor's making just to see how muddy it is. It is a little bit muddy, but not impossible. What the That's enough to give me a pucker factor. What the hell did I roll down into? Oh. Yeah. Gopher mounds. Okay, so we're gonna fill in a gopher hole here first before we get too terrible busy. I just backed down into it, and quite honestly, it gave me one heck of a pucker factor. I was about ready to think I was going to roll the tractor over. It created such a little sinkhole here. Darn little pesky buggers anyway. So we'll back drag that here a little bit. I actually had an epiphany the other night, and no, Jim, you know who you are, it didn't hurt, but it was kind of a startling revelation. Felt like me telling the redhead that she loved me and she knew it. For those of you that don't know, we won't go there. Yeah, anyway, just about done here. So, I'm hoping you all had a happy and good New Year's Eve and celebration for New Year's. I hope 2024 goes better for everybody. And yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Had a lot of folks comment on one of my last videos about all the different things I had lined up to do in 2024. And I think a lot of you folks thought I had bitten off more than I could chew. And quite honestly, I'm kind of getting to be inclined to agree with you. However, if you don't make plans and try to at least get something done, nothing gets done. So, yeah. Anyway, what the epiphany was that I had the other night was to get out here in this borrow pit and do something with all that gravel the county highway department was so kind to leave for me. This is going to be an ongoing project. I'm not going to get it all done today by any means. But, yeah, what I'm going to do is we're going to scrape up some of that gravel and go in behind the mailbox with it. Make kind of like a little pull-off area for the delivery driver for the USPS to pull off into and put the mail in the box. That'll get the box away from the edge of the road, so a lot of this big farm equipment that's in the area, I won't be afraid of it hitting it and bashing it, and might make it a little more less tempting to be tagged with a baseball bat, as happened in this last year. So we're going to get to that and maybe do a little bit of that this afternoon. If you all remember when they paved this road right here, that had about a 4 or 5 inch, well, 5 or maybe even 6 inch high ridge between the top of the new pavement and the bottom of the old pavement there, kind of a deal. It was a real deep drop off. So they came along with this really fine crushed gravel and dirt and dumped it along here. Well, that's fine and dandy, but it irritated the heck out of me because it was on my lawn that I've been mowing. But if I come in here and come out about this way and around back to the fence and back out, then I can set the mailbox back here towards the fence this summer when the ground thaws out enough for me to dig a hole, and the mail carrier can pull off the edge of the road, put the mail in the box, and have a nice surface to drive on with any luck. As I'm going to pick up some of this that's along the edge of the road here that they dumped and graded over, and pile it in there behind the mailbox. This may need to be something I do as stinky as to grade this up on the road and then shovel it over into the bucket. You know, make a trench on the road and put it in the bucket that way. Yeah, I'm not picking up much of anything here. Well, I've got a wee bit of a problem. Let me tilt you down here a bit. You can probably see I got a little bit in the bucket. Yeah, not very much. That stuff is frozen solid because of all the moisture in it. Even though it's pushing 39, 40 degrees today, yeah, it's still fairly solid right there. So what we're going to do is get down here where the land is a little more level, turn up onto the road, and dump this stuff off right here in that driveway. Well, I think that's an idea that will work, just not now. That ground is way too frozen and whatnot to dig that up and move it. So we'll have to wait till it's a little drier and thawed out. And yeah, I still like the idea of putting that in and around the mailbox there, giving us a little bit of a pull-off area for the mail person. But yeah, we will conquer that another day, I guess. Well, I thought I was going to hook on to the WD-45 Alice today, pull it back up to the shop with the hooks on the front of the blade here, or the bucket. Unfortunately, I don't have my long chain with me right at the minute. So the next thing we're going to do is this. We're going to move that great big old disc up closer to the house so Dale, my buddy, can come get it and get it out of here. And if time allows today, we'll come back for the WD-45 hook onto it and drag it up there like I was planned on. But it might be better to move that disc anyway to get it out of the way so we can make the turn, get the Alice pointed in the right direction. Now, even with the counterweight on here, we should be able to back up here and clear the bucket there of that counterweight. If I can find the hitch. Oop, I'm right on top of it. That's why I can't see it. Turn here a little bit. See if we can't get kind of lined up here. Something about like that. Anyway, that goes right over the top of that. Hey, how about that? The damn hook doesn't hook in there. The clevis is too big for that. Well, okay. I guess next thing then is we're going to get the chain off this bucket, put it around through there and through that hitch, and we'll drag it that way. Yeah. We'll stuff the chain through there because the chain will fit. Then we'll hook onto the chain on the other side. There we go. And just for good measure, run some of this extra up through here. Something kind of like that. And back around here and hook onto itself. Yeah. So now we're hooked up, we're ready to drag this thing. Give the old girl a little bit of juice. And we're in 4-wheel drive. And we're off like a hoity-toitles. And if we can make this turn right here, I'm awful close to. Which I think we can. Without having too much issues. Yeah. Okay, something kind of like that. We're hooked up to that disc, and be honest with you, the Super M Farmall won't budge that unless the gangs are straight, you know what I mean, not cutting in real steep. And this thing being about 3,000 pounds lighter and having the same horsepower has to be in 4-wheel drive to pull that disc. It is so heavy. So it's great for around here for leveling out the high and low spots. Dragging it around is a bit of an issue though for the size of equipment I have. A friend of mine has a D-series case that just loves to have a workout behind or in front of this thing. But that said, don't know that we're going to have any more of the plow days this year. Yeah, I think that's kind of a done-did deal. So we're going to go ahead and drag this up here and park it so that my buddy Dale can get his hands on it. Wondering if he ever gets over here, because he's got to bring over my 39 Farmall H yet and a few other little trinkets and treasures, and like a front axle for the little A and that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see when he gets here. Probably be later this spring when it really thaws out. Hey, what's on the inside of a clean nose? Any ideas? Fingerprints. We're going to park it up next to the shop if we can get it up there. Which it looks like we're going to be able to do. Yeah. A lot of people poo-poo an Alice Chalmers tractor for their pulling ability, like at tractor pulls and that sort of thing. It's just simply because they have 28-inch rear rubber on them instead of 38. So there's less meat coming in contact with the ground. However, when you put a mounted plow on there and you're in a plowing competition, those stupid things are right up there with the rest of the big boys. What I ended up having to do to get this thing to turn was remove the chain from the right spindle and leave the one attached to the left spindle, and yeah, make my turn, and that turned the front wheel here to the left. Now I'm going to grab a hold of the steering wheel, see if we can't straighten these both back up straight, and I'll hook the other chain back on down to the spindle, and we'll give her a tug back up to the house. Well, we're going to get this thing drug up to the house. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a show. Sorry, there's a lot of glare. That back window's covered in dust. See there, blowing off the dust. Yeah, that time of year. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little impromptu deal for the first day of a new year, 2024. Hopefully, knock on some wood, I get a whole bunch of stuff done this year. Started to comment on it a little bit ago about all the list of things I've got to do, and there is a ton of them. But yeah, with any luck, we're gonna make it back east. We're gonna do possibly some hay out here, and even with any luck, we'll get into a fresh produce deal going on. So hang on, we got a lot coming up. So we're going to be in the shop here before too long doing some repair work as well. So anyway, thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, just click on that red thing right down there. And if you want to leave a comment, go right ahead, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, that sort of thing. And while we're on the topic of comments, I have had overwhelming response to the inquiry on the color to paint the barn. Of course, the barn will be red, but we were talking about the trim being either kind of a charcoal or black color or white. Overwhelming response was to paint the trim white, so we're going to go with white. So you folks do matter. I was paying attention. And as for the name change on the farm, it was kind of like a shotgun took a shot at the broadside of a barn. There was a little bit of everything in the comments on that. So one or two were kind of iffy. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, yeah, so I think what we're going to do for now is we're just going to leave it as Nelson Creek Farm, because that's where we're at, is Nelson Creek Farm. And yeah, so I'm Farmer Dave with Nelson Creek Farm. We'll catch up with you later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.